Hi, Divine Souls. I'm truly grateful you're here with me in Oriah Divine Sanctuary, a space dedicated to healing, awareness, and spiritual alignment. If this video has appeared in your life today, trust that there may be a message here meant specifically for you. If the words shared here resonate with your spirit, I encourage you to like, share, comment, and subscribe so we can continue building a community centered around truth, healing, and higher consciousness. Earlier today, during meditation, I allowed myself to slow down, to breathe, and to simply be present. And in that quiet space, I began to tune into the energetic frequency of the collective, sensing what many people may be navigating on their spiritual journeys right now. And from that awareness, this message emerged. Many people spend years carrying things that were never theirs to carry: other people's emotions, other people's responsibilities, other people's consequences, other people's healing, other people's expectations. And over time, this can become so normal that they don't even realize how heavy the burden has become. They become the fixer, the rescuer, the peacemaker, the emotional caretaker, the one everyone leans on, the one who absorbs stress, solves problems, and holds everything together. While these qualities often come from a place of compassion, they can also create chronic exhaustion when boundaries are missing. Psychologically, many people learn these patterns early in life. Some grow up believing their value comes from helping everyone. Some learn that keeping others happy keeps them safe. Some become hyper aware of other people's emotions and needs while ignoring their own. Over time, this creates a subconscious belief: if I don't carry it, everything will fall apart. But here's the truth: many of the burdens you're carrying were never assigned to you in the first place, and carrying them does not necessarily help the people involved. Sometimes it prevents growth, because when we constantly rescue people from responsibilities that belong to them, we may unintentionally interfere with lessons they need to learn themselves. So, what happens when you finally stop carrying what isn't yours? 1. Your anxiety begins to decrease. A tremendous amount of anxiety comes from trying to control things you cannot control: other people's decisions, other people's reactions, other people's healing journeys. When you release responsibility for things outside your control, your nervous system often experiences relief. You begin focusing on what you can influence instead of obsessing over what you cannot. 2. Your energy returns. Carrying emotional burdens is exhausting. Worrying about everyone else's life leaves very little energy for your own. When you stop carrying what isn't yours, you reclaim emotional, mental, and spiritual energy that can be invested into your own growth. 3. Your relationships become healthier. Healthy relationships involve support. They do not require emotional overfunctioning. When you stop rescuing, fixing, and carrying everyone, relationships often become more balanced. People begin taking responsibility for themselves, and those who only valued your usefulness may reveal themselves. 4. You develop stronger boundaries. Boundaries become easier when you understand the difference between compassion and responsibility. You can care about someone without managing their life. You can support someone without sacrificing yourself. You can love someone without carrying their consequences. 5. You create space for your own purpose. One reason many people feel stuck is because their energy is constantly directed outward. They're so busy carrying everyone else's burdens that they neglect their own dreams, healing, creativity, goals, and calling. Letting go creates room: room to grow, room to rest, room to hear your own voice again. Spiritually, this process is deeply important. Many people mistake carrying unnecessary burdens for love, but wisdom teaches us that every person has responsibilities they must carry themselves. God's word says, Each one should carry their own load. Galatians 6:5. This verse doesn't discourage compassion, it encourages healthy responsibility. There is a difference. Helping someone occasionally is healthy, living someone else's life for them is not. So, if you're feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or emotionally depleted, ask yourself, what am I carrying that does not belong to me? What burden was I never meant to hold? What responsibility am I assuming that belongs to someone else? Because the moment you release what was never yours, you make room for something better. More peace, more clarity, more energy, more freedom, and ultimately a life that is no longer defined by carrying everyone else's weight. Sometimes healing begins not by taking on more, but by finally putting something down. Divine souls, thank you for stepping into Oriah Divine's sanctuary. This space exists to support your healing, elevate your awareness, and guide you through the sacred process of personal transformation. Here, you are safe to grow spiritually, emotionally, and authentically. And it is truly an honor to share this journey with you. Always remember, awareness begins the healing, but your transformation begins the moment you choose to honor your voice. Until we meet again, continue walking in truth, protecting your peace, and letting your divine light shine.